Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be discussing the new weapon meta in Fortnite Chapter 2, Season 1. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, Chapter 2 changed the pool of weapons in Fortnite way more than any other update in the entire history of the game. Not only were roughly 10 to 12 different weapons vaulted, but there were also a bunch of changes to the weapons that were lucky enough to remain in the game. Some had damage adjustments, others had drop rate or rarity adjustments, and we even saw a few new weapons added into the game as well. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down which weapons are now the best in the most important weapon categories, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first debate that we're going to cover in this video today is definitely the most popular weapon debate so far in Chapter 2, the pump shotguns versus the tac shotguns. So the pump shotgun was probably the most altered weapon by the Chapter 2 update. Towards the end of Season X, there were only green and blue rarity pumps, but now there's white, green, blue, purple, and gold. On top of that, most of the pumps received a very significant damage nerf. The white pump went from 80 base damage to 70, the green pump went from 95 to 80, the blue pump went from 100 to 90, the purple pump went from 105 to 100, and surprisingly, the gold pump actually wasn't nerfed at all and still does 110 base damage. So obviously, the lower rarity pumps are now significantly worse than they've been in the past. I mean, just to put the pump damage nerf for the lower rarity options in slightly simpler terms, the white pump now does 12.5% less damage than it did before, the green pump does 15.8% less damage, and the blue pump does 10% less damage. But I think actually the blue pump, despite not getting the biggest damage nerf, is actually the biggest loser here. At point blank range, it used to be able to one-shot body shot and one-shot headshot a 100 or 200 health player, and that's what made it significantly better than the old green pump. But now, the new blue pump is even less powerful than the old green pump was. Another interesting little nerf here regarding pump shotguns that not a lot of people realize is that by adding the super common white pump into the game, it makes it less likely that you'll be able to get the higher rarity pumps. But even though the pump shotguns got hit with a major nerf, the tac shotguns on the other hand actually weren't touched at all. And what's really interesting is that even though the tacs obviously have a major advantage in terms of fire rate, they're very close to the pumps now in terms of base damage, and especially headshot damage because the tacs have a 2.25 headshot multiplier, while the pumps on the other hand still have 2.0. For example, the green pump has a base body and headshot damage of 80 and 160, while the green tac is 75 and 168. And the white tac actually has a higher base body shot and a higher base headshot damage than the white pump does. Now as you go higher up in rarity, the gap between the damage of the pump and tac starts to get wider and wider in the pump's favor, but it's still way closer than it's ever been in the past. So when it comes to the pump versus tac debate, I don't think it's as simple as just saying, oh, the pump is better or the tac is better. A lot of it really does come down to rarity. So here's my rankings of the 10 different pumps and tacs in Fortnite right now from best to worst. So without a doubt, the number 10 and worst option is the white pump. A weapon with as slow of a fire rate as the pump, only being able to deal a max of 70 body and 140 headshot damage is just terrible, and I don't think there's any arguing that it's the worst shotgun in the game. Then at number 9 is the green pump. 80 body and 160 headshot damage is a little better, but it's still not enough to be a really effective shotgun. At number 8, I have the white tac. It does similar body and headshot damage to the white and green pump while having a much faster fire rate, a much larger clip size, and a better reload time per shell. At number 7, I have the blue pump. At 90 body and 180 headshot damage, this is a much more respectable option than the white and green pumps, but it's still relatively low in the grand scheme of things. Then, numbers 6 through 3 are all tax in order of rarity. So number 6 is green, number 5 is blue, number 4 is purple, and number 3 is gold. And then finally, number 2 is the purple pump, and just like how the white pump was without a doubt the worst shotgun in the game, the gold pump on the other hand is without a doubt the best shotgun in the game. I think that the purple and gold pumps are definitely better than the purple and gold tax, not only because of the damage and one-shot ability of the pumps, but also because the purple and gold tax have really slow pullout times, which makes them somewhat annoying and difficult to use in box fights, because you're going to have to deal with that pullout time whenever you make an edit and then you switch to your shotgun to shoot the enemy. Plus, one thing that's funny is that even before the pump nerf, people argue that the gold pump doing 110 body and 220 headshot damage was way too powerful. And now, since all the other pumps got nerfed, that basically acts as a buff to the gold pump, so it's even more overpowered than it was in the past. Now, I definitely acknowledge that a lot of that list I just shared really does come down to preference. I'm sure some people think the blue pump is better than the green tac, for example, and I could totally understand that. The next thing I want to talk about in this video is the AR equivalent of pump versus tac, which is the regular ARs versus the burst ARs. The burst ARs also received some really interesting changes in the Chapter 2 update. The FAMASs, which were previously purple and gold rarity, were moved down to white, green, and blue rarity, and also had their damage scaled down a bit to match that. On top of that, Fortnite also added a new purple and gold version of the burst AR, which looks exactly like an AUG from Call of Duty, so that's what I'm gonna call it. I personally believe that preference plays even more of a factor in the burst versus regular AR debate than it does in the pump versus tac debate. There are people out there that hate burst so much that they take a white regular AR over something like a blue burst. So because of that, it seems kinda useless to do a full 10 through 1 ranking like I did with the shotguns. Just know that in general, bursts have the advantage of rewarding accuracy a bit more due to less reliance on bloom, while fully auto ARs are much better at pressuring players and spamming structures because of their faster fire rate. However, one thing I want to point out here is how ridiculously underrated the new purple and gold bursts are. This weapon does really good damage at 32/33 per shot, shooting in bursts of 3, but what makes it really special is the fact that its bloom and first shot accuracy resets almost instantly after every burst you shoot. And here's a quick little clip showcasing what I mean by that. So as you just saw, unlike with the FAMASs where you have to wait about a second after each burst for first shot accuracy to reset, with the AUG, you really don't need to wait at all. You can shoot this weapon at pretty much its regular fire rate, and every single burst you shoot will have almost no bloom as well as first shot accuracy for 1 out of the 3 shots. So again, I know that personal preference is gonna play a really big role in this, but as someone that's never really liked burst weapons in Fortnite, even I think this new AUG is simply a laser if you're accurate. I think it's definitely better than the white, green, and blue regular ARs, and I think a lot of people out there will even end up preferring it over the SCARs. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys think about the 2 weapon debates that we discussed in this video, the pumps versus the tacs, and the regular assault rifles versus the burst assault rifles. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.